Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to News and Views. Our next guest, we're so delighted to have her on, is Anthea Houston. She's a CEO of her own company. She's also a very, very passionate pro-rights activist and a pro-Palestinian activist. And she recently had a very traumatic experience as a result of her activism. Anthea, welcome. Thank you for being with us. And please tell us a little bit about that experience.
Morning. Thank you for having me on the show. It was a bit of a strange experience. It happened sort of 1 week into the brutal sort of carpet bombing that we've seen taking place in Palestine since the 7th of October. On the 15th, the Palestinian Solidarity Campaign here in Cape Town organized a peaceful picket alongside the Cape Town Marathon race, which was taking place on the Sunday, the 15th. And I went to lend my support to the cause that Sunday morning because I felt so strongly about stopping the genocide that we were witnessing. And as you know, we had a very peaceful day. We watched the marathon runners. They were quite exciting and inspiring to watch. And just as we ended the march, not the march, the demonstration, I'd given my poster back to the event organizers and was just through greeting my friends when I stepped into the road making my way home, when one of the marathon runners who walked up to me and beat me with his fists down to the ground and then just kept walking. And I spent a few days in the hospital with a concussion, which I'm still busy recovering 4 months later.
And so it was a totally unprovoked attack. And he literally beat you to the ground.
I never spoke to him. I wasn't shouting anything. I wasn't carrying any slogans. I didn't have anything printed on my chest. There was nothing. But I was wearing a keffiyeh at the time. And it was clear to him that I was part of the demonstration that he had just passed as he was moving along the race. And one can't really understand what's in the minds of people who think they are superior to other people. But to me, he seemed it would seem to me clearly that he's an angry, violent person who, believes in the superiority of one party over another. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that he objects to the things we were protesting for, the equality of all people, the equality of Palestinians.
And that's precisely why you, as somebody who is neither Arab, nor Palestinian, nor Muslim, is involved in these protests because you believe in that equality, right? Anthea, I want to ask you, did you have any recourse to access to justice? What was your experience in that respect?
So that was interesting. The point at which I stood at the march, there were actually very many police people present. None of them came to assist me. None of them stopped to arrest the man or even question the man about his conduct.
Outrageous.
Yes, very appalling that a man would beat a woman down in public, and that I think it must have been almost about 30 police persons. Not one of them stopped him to ask him to account for his conduct or checked whether I was okay. And in any event, I laid on the tar for almost an hour before the ambulance took me away, and still no police assisted. But in the end, obviously, we laid a complaint at the police, and they investigated and then communicated with me that they would not investigate the matter any further. In an email I received, they said, look, we're not investigating. And so I've had to go and procure an attorney who had to go and take all the evidence, all the eyewitness evidence, and put it in front of the state prosecutor and say, this decision actually needs to be reviewed. And thankfully, they saw the the merit in reopening the matter, and the man has made his first appearance in court.
That's
To
fantastic. Well done.
Yeah, we're on our way.
We're on our way. That's fantastic. Anthea, thank you so much for being with us and for sharing that story. Listeners, viewers, that was Anthea Houston, our neighbor of note on today's show. If you want to read more about her ordeal, she has written a wonderful piece in the Daily Maverick where she says unchecked violence crushes peaceful protest, yet an angry, hurt, and fragile Black woman must be heard. Kudos to you, Anthea, for pursuing it and actually seeing that the justice process is being taken up with this attacker, this vile attacker of yours. Once again, thank you so much for being with us. It really has been a pleasure to have you with us. And I hope I'm going to leave the last word with you. I hope it's not going to deter your solidarity with this protest against genocide in Gaza.
Absolutely not. I think all of us around the world, every human being, we really have to take a strong stand and say that we're not going to stand for any human being being treated as inferior.
Mhm. Absolutely. Anthea, as I said, really a neighbor of note. We are so proud of you. We're proud to have you stand in solidarity with us. And I think you're a symbol of really what every South African should be standing in this, should be proud of our government for what it's done at the ICJ. And I was talking earlier to Firdaus Bulbulia about the kafia. I'm not sure if you tuned into that. It's
No.
lovely to see you wearing that symbol of solidarity. And last weekend at a festival of women writers here in Joburg, so many people asked me, where can I get one? Where can I get your watermelon badge or your watermelon earrings, your keffiyeh, your keffiyeh? I had a keffiyeh skirt on the one day, etc. And it's just been really heartwarming to see our fellow South Africans come together like this. Of course, it is also really sad that there are some of our fellow South Africans who are still living in the apartheid mentality of colonial settlerism. And that, of course, is the attribution I'm making towards your attacker. Thank you once again, Anthea. We're going to go for a quick ad break, and then we're going to talk to Noura, who is going to tell us a little bit about her evacuation from Gaza. So that was Anthea Houston, our neighbor of note. And we're going now to an ad break.